UAW filing labor charges against Trump and Musk, all centered around that interview last night. Doug Collins is joining us, former Georgia congressman and host of the Doug Collins podcast. Julio Rivera is back. He's a Republican strategist. Good to see all of you here. We appreciate that. So, Doug, with your legal background, I'd like to bring that up with you here. So this action coming after Musk, Trump's 2-hour conversation on social media, on X specifically last night, discussed so many different things, but talking about in general walking off of the job. The UAW steps up, files these labor charges, but, you know, just something important to note, which I just had it up here, that there was, you may have heard it, they didn't say anything about the UAW workers specifically. They didn't even call out the company. They didn't call out the employer. In fact, they said that specifically without naming any companies. How strong is this? How do you read these charges filed not even 12 hours later after this sit down?
I read it as what it is, political propaganda, and that's all it is. Look, the President Trump's been very vocal about the UAW president, and in particular, and the job that he felt like that they've done in basically tearing up the auto industry here in America. So, look, this has been going on for a while. There's no specifics here. There's no claim of an individual tampering. This is simply, I view it as political propaganda because the UAW has already endorsed the Harris ticket. And this is, again, I would look at this more from, are they going to actually file this as a contribution to the Harris presidential campaign, because it looks more like a campaign contribution than it does an actual lawsuit.
Yeah, and again, it was a 2-hour conversation here. It's interesting what stands out to people, right? Julio, the fact that this was the takeaway from the UAW, does that surprise you?
No, it doesn't. I think that they're worried. I think that they think what's going to happen is similar to what happened in 2016, where you had the secret Trump vote or the muted Trump vote. There's a lot of supporters that I think are blue collar, working class Americans, people like members of this union that want to go ahead and vote for Donald Trump, though they can't do so publicly. Because unfortunately their campaign contributions, coming from these places are made up of union dues, that are given by these blue collar working class Americans. So they have to kind of keep their mouths quiet about who they want to actually support. And I wouldn't be surprised if the majority of these union type workers that are blue collar Americans wind up actually voting for Trump.
Yeah, we're listening to that. It's on record of what he said. The UAW, one of the largest unions here in the country, the Auto Workers Union, headed up by Shawn Fain, backing Trump's political opponent, seemingly wanting to move forward with labor charges against Trump and Musk. I mean, it's written right there. Talking about what you see and how you perceive media content. There was an interesting moment that happened on one of the late night shows that maybe you missed. This is CNN anchor Caitlin Collins on Stephen Colbert's show. They were talking, it was supposed to get into the interview, but how he got into there, the audience played a role. Watch this.
I know you guys are objective over there, that you just report the news as it is. No, I know. CNN makes a... I know.
Is that supposed to be a laugh line?
It wasn't supposed to be, but I guess it is.
So seemingly an unscripted, caught off guard moment with a reaction there from the audience when Colbert suggested that CNN is objective. Doug, why do you suppose there was a laugh reaction?
You and I, we don't have enough time to go into how many times there's a laugh reaction to that one. I mean, CNN has just got to the point where, again, they post their liberal views. They post a non, they don't like Donald Trump. They've never liked Donald Trump. And yet Donald Trump goes on their own network and basically gets higher ratings and basically takes on every argument that they make. And Caitlin Collins being one of them. And I think this was just, it was one of those unscripted moments when have you ever been in a room where you think everybody's on the same page and you say something and it's like, everybody's not on the same page here. And you can see the genuine surprise in Colbert's eyes. He said, oh, well, guess so. And then they just sort of laugh it off because they just have such a media monopoly on this. This is the part that look, the media is completely complicit in this overthrow of Biden and this rise of Harris. And they've got to go all in right now, because if they don't, then they've sort of messed up their own wish list, and that is to defeat Donald Trump.